Hello, Mermaid. So I want to review a tarot deck. And this deck is Kawaii Tarot. That is how it has to be pronounced. I saw this and I just had to have it. In one way, I wish it was more detailed. Because this is a very simple deck. And definitely these images are they're definitely what would be considered kawaii. A very simplified cutesy images is. But I generally prefer the cutesy animals and such than these very oversimplified cutesy figurines. But it is what it is. And in one of my tarot groups, somebody was saying, okay, I have an 8-year-old kid that has wanting to start with the tarot. What do you recommend? And of course, there was a lot of suggestions. And I said that, okay, usually I would always recommend just starting with a Rider-Waite. But if you think that your kid would prefer to learn the basic symbolism first and go from there, then the Kawaii Tarot is actually a good choice. Because the symbolism is there, it's just simplified. So, this one was made by Diana Lopez. It's published by Sterling Ethos. So, it comes in a box with a deck and book in a very pink packaging. And it's for some reason the deck is in 2 boxes like this. And here are the books. So let's start with the little white book, or in this case, the little pink book. Which of course is also very cute. Kawaii Tarot, sweet days ahead. You have introduction. That is self-explanatory. Tarot spreads, the major arcana, the minor arcana, and the final thoughts. So, introduction just basically tells you about the tarot and the idea behind the deck. It goes into what are reverse cards, how to read, the idea of elements. And with spreads, we have only a 3-card spread, which is disappointment. They could at least have thrown in a couple of spreads more. Anyway, the cards are... Then it goes through some cards. Oh, it have actually more tarot spreads. Never mind. I had completely forgotten about this. It just lists them first with little blurbs. And then you have list the suites with little blurbs and what the numbers means. And then we go into tarot spreads. So we have a 1-card spread. 3-card spread, element spread, the week ahead, and the Celtic cross, and the Romani spread. So, all the most basic ones, but that will do. And then we go with the major arcana, which each one has this. Basically, you have 2 cards on each page. Which isn't a lot of information, but it is enough to get you by. And then we have the minor arcana, which also get the same amount. And let's go here. Then we have final thoughts, which is basically a summary. It'll do the work. It's basically, is it awesome? No, but it will get the job done. It is definitely, if you give a little girl this kit, or a little boy for that matter, they will get what they need out of this book to start reading, though I also recommend getting them a proper tarot book. This will get them started. So let's have a look at the cards. I always think it's a little bit odd to keep them like this, but it will do. As for the box, it's okay, but I can feel these hinges not being the best in the world. And it hasn't any magnet lock or something, so it will fly open if you're not careful when lifting them. Come on. And the deck is in 2 boxes like this that it then has to open. It is a pain, really. It means that you sort of have to assemble the deck before each reading. The size is pretty okay though, because it's come out. There's always some cards stuck in here. It's about the same size as a regular card deck, and it is the back. These are the backs. They are fully reversible, which is good, and of course very cute. Here we have the High Priestess. This is a moon and a couple of stars. As you can see, they have basically taken 1 or 2 symbolic elements from each card and put that there. The problem with this is that since I know how to read the tarot and know these symbols, I know what symbols they have taken. For example, let's go back to the High Priestess here. It's the moon over her head and her 2 pillars that I know which elements they have taken. If you're not used to the tarot, you will not know these elements, and these extremely simplified, cutesy pictures, they are not going to get the job done. That is why, while I think this can be a good startup deck, because they will be very, very simple to learn. At the same time, it is oversimplified. It's definitely oversimplified. If you know the tarot, then there is enough here to basically immediately see the symbolism that I have included. But without knowing that, it can be a little bit complicated. It is very cute though. Definitely have the typical kawaii colors. And I can definitely see someone who are either into kawaii or are, or for example, a little girl or a little boy. But let's be honest here, it's probably more likely to attract a little girl. Because gender stereotypes is a thing. I definitely think they can think it's cute, and it will be simple to learn. Because basically, like I said, it takes 1 or 2 elements of each card and include that. Ace of Cups. Cups are so cute. And all the cups are different. So you can see both the major and the minor arcana is decorated in very similar ways. I also think that with this symbolism, what I actually think this would also be very good for is that people that are used to reading with a regular deck of cards and are starting to get into tarot, but think that the often very decorated and fully illustrated majors minors are complicated. These are pretty simple. So I think that it might be a good deck for transitioning between reading with regular deck. This is the Magician. I think it's so cute. I want this on a t-shirt. Basically, I think that it can be a good way to transition between reading a regular deck of cards and reading the tarot. I mean, it is clearly a novelty deck. And as a novelty deck, it's fine. It keeps the theme well, and it's really, really, really cute. It could also be a good gift for your tarot reader friend who has all the decks. Do I have to use something to get this open? Or do I have? These here are annoying. They are extremely annoying. Come on, open sesame. Basically, somebody who has all the decks, I think, won't really appreciate this because it's fun. But at the same time, I definitely think you can do fortunes with this. And I do think that as the first deck of a kid, if they don't want to go, you have to, of course, look at the kid in question, because 8-year-old and 8-year-old, not all 8-year-old are the same. There are plenty of 8-year-olds that have no problem. Give them a Rider-Waite deck and a book, and they'll figure things out. But there are also some that might be overwhelmed, and this would be nice. And I think this can go even younger. Basically, I think any age that won't eat the cards can learn to do readings with this. So yeah, as for card quality, it's so-so. It's completely okay. It's about the same card quality as a regular cheap deck of cards. So if it had been even, if the quality had been even better, I would have been less reluctant to recommend it to small children. But since the cards are not as big as most tarot decks, the cards will be more sturdy. So there's that. Yeah, and of course the ones that can be. It is adorable. It is the point. So yeah, for what it is, it's good. It's the Kawaii Tarot, and it does manage to be kawaii. It's very, very simple. Now, for some people ask me, okay, will this be a good alternative if they have a problem shuffling the larger decks and want a tarot deck in a regular card format? Well, it is a tarot deck in a regular card format, but because of the very, very simplistic, imagery, this is a novelty deck. Let's get real about what it is. It's a novelty deck. I would rather recommend getting a mini version of a regular deck. A lot of various tarot decks have miniature versions, and I think that will be a better choice because it will give you a lot more symbolism to work with. But for a kid's first tarot, or basically a gift, because it's cute with this little box and it's all presented in such a way, or for us a novelty deck, it works very well. So therefore I will have to say that as a tarot deck, I'll give it, if I look at nothing else, that it's absolutely nothing else, I'll give it 4 out of 10 as a tarot deck. It works, it has the symbolism there, but it's way too simplistic. But as what it is, a novelty deck with a kawaii theme, I'll give it 8 out of 10. It's really cute, it's very nice, and it is exactly what it sets out to be. So yeah, that is my review of the Kawaii Tarot. I hope you have enjoyed this review, and blessed be.